All right, this is a plea, but Bashan, there are no applications. Court is calling 2023 CR 7166, State of Texas versus Luis Coronado. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense,
David McLean for Luis Coronado.
are you Mr. Coronado?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Coronado, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Coronado, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I've discussed this matter with my client. He understands he was not in a right place at that point. He's going to try and endeavor to stay out of trouble. We just asked the court to call the plea bargain.
Mr. Coronado, why do you keep stealing?
I was depressed. I was just didn't know what I was doing.
Well, no, you knew what you were doing. You were intoxicated.
Yeah.
You went into this hotel. You took an item from their pantry, which was 2 beers, put them in your pants, and then went and sat on the bus stop drinking. So again, why do you continue to steal? Because if this were your first time stealing, you would be in misdemeanor court unless the cost of beer has gone up exponentially. So why do you continue to steal?
So I was out in the street and I was just really that my friends was just peer pressure me to do stuff.
How old are you?
31.
At 31, no one has peer pressure. I don't understand a 31-year-old. What were your friends saying? Steal it, take the beer? I don't think so.
Like convincing me, I guess.
I'm sorry, what?
Like convincing me.
Yeah, I don't understand a 31-year-old who's subjecting themselves to peer pressure. And who are you hanging around with? What age are they that they are using
young.
peer pressure to have you steal?
They're pretty young, like 26, 25.
26 and 25, that's still not the peer pressure crowd. When people think of peer pressure, they're thinking people who are in maybe high school, maybe middle school. We called it junior high when I was growing up. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in and out of prison and in and out of jails?
No.
All right. These cases, this state jail felony, at some point in time, if you continue on the path that you're on, these state jail felonies are going to be enhanced. And what that will mean is you will not be looking at up to 2 years in the state jail facility. We will start talking about prison time. Do you understand?
Yes.
So whatever is going on in your life, you need to get your life together. And you are at an age where you should not be hanging around or being with people who you say are using peer pressure to make you do the wrong thing. Do you have children?
Yeah.
What are their ages?
12.
Just one?
No, I got 2 12-year-olds.
2 12-year-olds? Are they twins?
No, they're 6 months apart.
Oh, okay. All right. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 118 days in the Bexar County Jail on the 1244, give you credit for any time served. I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Are you in your 12-year-old's lives?
Yes.
How so? Do
I
you see them on a daily basis?
I see them as much as I can.
What does that even mean?
Their mom was in prison, and then the other one She had another relationship, so it was pretty hard.
So are they living with this mother or are they living with grandparents?
Not with the mother.
All right. You're going to have to try to do better things for your children. Otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? If I have not retired, I may end up seeing your children before me. And you know what they're going to say? Well, I have a father who stole, so that's why I steal. And whatever the mother went to prison for, they're going to say, the reason why I do this is because my mother went to prison. Both you and the mother of these two boys or two children have not given them a good example, and you all are giving them a bad start. You understand? All right, good luck to you. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 0996, State of Texas versus Luis Puente Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state.
Defense.
Daniel Rodriguez for Mr. Puente.
And are you Mr. Puente?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Luis Puente Jr. who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 0996 for the offense of felon in possession of a weapon on January 25th, 2022 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 26th day of August, 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Luis Puente Jr. committed the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, we waive and abandon the other violations alleged in the motion.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Judge.
Mr. Puente, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 3 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking you that you grant the motion, revoke the defendant and sentence him to 3 years in TDC. And the state will TIC the new number 1, which is cause number NM 727272.
727272?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. All right. Is that the agreement?
That is, Judge.
Mr. Puente, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right. The court will grant the motion, revoke you. Mr. Puente, I'm looking over your history and I see that there were drug issues was your problem and that we tried SAFE. I'm sorry, SATF. Did he actually complete SATF?
Judge, I was going to ask to put on the record his credit for time served, which is 136 days in Bexar County Jail and a successful completion of SATF from April 19th to August 16th for an additional 119 days for a total of 255 days.
All right. So counsel, I'm assuming you're asking for credit for inpatient treatment time?
Yes, Judge.
All right. The court is going to grant the motion, sentence time served and credit for time in any inpatient treatment that was successfully completed. All right. Based upon your new number 1, it appears that you still have issues with your sobriety.
Yes.
If you would like, I could request for you the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community will not increase the time that you're in custody. For example, I'm following the agreement to sentence you to 3 years in prison. If I sentence you to 3 years in prison, and let's say they parole you at 2 years or at 1 year or whatever parole time they give you, if you are in the therapeutic community and you have not completed it, they're not going to say, oh, we're going to keep him even though he's been paroled because he hasn't completed therapeutic community. Therapeutic community is just something extra for you to hopefully help you maintain your sobriety. So would you like to be referred for that?
Referred you.
Okay. Now, I don't have any jurisdiction to force them to place you in the therapeutic community, so you'll still have to ask for it, and then it's completely up to them. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, grant the motion, sentence you to 3 years in prison, give you credit for any time served, credit for any successful completion of inpatient treatment, and I'll recommend the therapeutic community. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record, Mr. Puente, how old are you?
49.
All right, you're 49. You're getting close to that point in your life where you have more of your life behind you than in front of you. And it's going to be completely up to you of how you choose to live that. You can choose to live it by using drugs. I always tell people when I was in the treatment courts, the only difference between somebody with a criminal charge for drug possession and the person who doesn't have it, one person had a chance to use it, the other person did not. Whenever you're using drugs, they're not FDA approved. The people don't care whether you live or not. It's just strictly a business transaction. They don't care if it's interfering with your health or not. It's a business transaction.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't go to the prison, get institutionalized. Don't be the person at the prison when people say, how are things run here? And they say, well, you can ask the oldest person here. We call him Grandpa Puente. Don't be the grandfather at the prison, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. No problem.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Judge, did you hear the good news about San Antonio?
What's the good news?
We ranked third in regards to a zombie apocalypse.
Third,
That's
is that
third best city?
third in preparedness?
I have no idea. Just
See, because it depends on what that third means.
I feel like it's partially because we're so far from others.
That's what I thought, but guess what number one was?
Military.
Where is number one?
Houston.
Oh, well, that's not good for us, Houston. I mean, during the zombie apocalypse, I'm sure they will install a light rail, unlike we have done. So it'll be easy for them to come to San Antonio.
That's true. Yeah,
And San Antonio never gives up on its fiesta. So I'm sure they're like, let's just wait till April.
What was number two?
New York City.
Oh,
So
wow.
maybe,
No.
yeah, I'm like, maybe it was
I don't
bogus, but.
buy that.
So I need to know, are we third in preparedness,
population
third in how we're going to be received? I'm trying to figure that
I'll have to
out.
look more into it, Judge. I was just shocked.
Manny Rodriguez,
Yes, good morning.
the attorney has brought me some news. He told me that San Antonio is third as far as the zombie apocalypse. I don't know if that's in preparedness or what.
I hopefully prepared us because we have a lot of military.
I think
Yeah.
that has to be, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But if one of the military bases ends up infiltrated by zombie, we're gone.
Then we're toast.
And if it's like the zombies from the Brad Pitt movie,
Oh,
we're done. Yes, I'm dependent on them being slow moving because I can run for a mile, then sleep, and then run for another mile. All right, so this was set for P